Start Blender, and in the middle of Blender you will see the default cube. Press X to delete it. Next, press spacebar, add, mesh, UV sphere, and then accept the default. Now we need to make sure that nothing is selected. The deselect key is the A key, which is also the select key. So press A until you get no pink showing. Now what you're going to do is add text. We need to make sure it's in the right position. Click below the sphere with your left mouse button. Press spacebar, add, text. Now you want to get into the edit mode. Press the tab key, backspace over the word text to erase it, and then type in your own sentence. This sentence will be part of the rings of your planet. Once you've got that, tab to get out of edit mode, and now you should be in object mode. We need to center the 3D control, and the 3D control are the arrows. What you will want to do is find in the object mode, in the object buttons, you will see a center new button. Click on that and you will see control move towards the center of your sentence. This is a reminder that you are looking at the top view, and what you have done is written on the floor. So what we need to do is make it stand up. Change to side view. With your text still selected, rotate -90 degrees. And what this does, it will make your words stand up. I'm just going to go into user view to show you what it should look like. Check yours, but when you have finished, make sure that you return to top view. In order to make the wings wrap and not be backwards, we need to rotate our name 180 degrees. Make sure you are in top view with your font selected, rotate 180 and press enter. We also need to extrude your font. You will find in the button window the extrude button. Extrude it just a little bit. 0.1 should be enough. This is what it looks like in 3D view. Okay, make sure that you put yourself back into top view. Right now your words are not in a form where we can bend it, so we need to convert it to a mesh. Make sure that you are in top view and that your words are selected. Press the Alt-C and select the Convert to Mesh. Now we are going to get ready to wrap. With your text still highlighted, switch to Edit mode. Click on the planet with your left mouse button. This is going to be the center of the wrap. We are now ready to wrap. Make sure that all your points are selected. They should be all in yellow. Press the Shift W. Move your mouse into the bottom right-hand corner. As you do, the words will wrap around the center of the planet. Make your words meet to form a complete ring, and when you are happy with the way it looks, press the Enter key or click the left mouse button. Now we are going to get ready to name our rings a special name. They are going to be called Rotate Name. Make sure all the vertices are selected. They should appear in yellow. Press F9 to get the editing menu. You will see a vertex group submenu, and you will click on the new button. Once you have done that, you are going to change the name of the group to Rotate Name. Click in your modeling window and you will now have the rings named Rotate Name. Let's see how our planet looks. Switch to object mode and press the F12 key. The F12 key will render the scene as the camera sees it. You will see that our planet and the rings and space looks pretty boring. We will add textures and materials later in this tutorial. Make sure now that you are in top view. Nothing is selected. Remember, that's the A key to deselect or select everything. We're now ready to put the armature in our scene. The armature is like a skeleton in your body, and we are going to control the armature that will control the rings of the planet and will make them rotate around the planet. First, we've got to check to make sure that it's going to be in the right position. Make sure that you're in top view and in object mode. Deselect everything. Remember, that's the A key. Click in the center of the planet. Although this might not necessarily be vertically centered. Switch now to front view. That's the number pad key number 1. If you notice in my diagram, my 3D cursor is below the planet. So I'm going to click again into the center of the planet. Now that my 3D cursor is actually in the planet, I'm going to press spacebar, add armature. Right now it doesn't look like much is there, but it is there. If you press the tab key to get into edit mode, and then grab it by pressing G, pull your mouse out in this direction, and you will see the armature come out of the planet. Pull it so that the end of the armature is touching the rings. The armature, like I said before, is like a skeleton, and a skeleton has many bones. This skeleton, this armature, contains only one bone, and we're going to name it the very same thing as our rings. So at this point you might want to stop and review how you named your rings. You must spell it exactly the same way, including spaces in upper and lower case letters. Make sure that you are still in edit mode. Find the editing menu, click on the word bone, change that bone name to rotate name. Again, it must be exactly the same as the rings of your planet. Tab to get into object mode. Now we are ready to parent the rings and the armature together. We are going to make the armature the parent and the rings the child. Select the rings first by right-clicking on them. Hold the Shift key down and right-click on the armature. So you should have a dark pink and light pink combination like I have here. To make it a parent, press the Control P. Select armature and select Don't Create Groups. To check, make sure that you are in object mode, right-click on the armature only, or the bone, and rotate it. As you rotate the bone, the rings will follow the bone. We are now ready to animate the rings. Make sure that you are in object mode and check that the frame indicator below it shows that you are in frame 1. Now right-click on your bone. What we're going to do is memorize this position. Press the I key once to insert the keyframe. Select Rot. Next, click gently inside the frame indicator. You will see the frame number get highlighted. Just type in frame 11, then enter. Now you're going to rotate this 90 degrees, the armature. So with your mouse in the window, rotate 90 degrees. Then press enter. Your armature will now be in the new position as indicated. Again, insert another keyframe. Press I and then select rotation. Change your frame indicator to frame 21. You will notice that frame 21 initially looks like frame 11. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate this one 90 degrees and press I Rot again. Repeat this sequence for frame 31 and 41. You're going to change the frame number, you're going to rotate your armature 90 degrees, and then you're going to insert a keyframe and memorize the rotation. Here it is in frame 31, and again at frame 41. Notice that by frame 41, we have reached the beginning of the sequence. What we're going to be doing next is we are going to repeat this sequence over and over again. Now we're going to change our windows. Right now you are looking at modeling window, and we're going to now switch to SR1 animation. Be prepared to see a lot more windows open. In the center you will see the 3D window, and you will see in my view here that I've switched to a side view and I've got my armature and planet and name showing. To the left you will see the outliner, and this is where your different objects are found. I find this useful because I can find lost objects. In the right-hand window, you will see the IPO curves. We have curves for the rotation around the x-axis, rotation around the y-axis, and rotation around the z-axis. The green line indicates that we're located at about frame 20. But to be more precise, you can go into the frame indicator located below your 3D window and you will see 18. So we're actually at frame 18. If you look above the frame indicator, you will see the green line indicating that we are at frame 18, but also 4 yellow lines, vertical lines. These 4 lines indicate the location of the keyframes. Right now in the IPO window, you might see only 1 or 2 lines. Because I have been playing around with the rotation of my armature, the angles are actually quite big in the negative direction. So put your mouse in the IPO window and rotate your mouse wheel to zoom out. As you zoom out, you will see other IPO curves appear. Of course, you zoom out, the points get closer and closer together, and your keyframes become a blur in this view. What we will do now is we are going to take these 5 keyframes, because we memorized it at frames 1, 11, 21, 31, and 41. Those were the 5 keyframes, and we're going to repeat these 5 keyframes over and over again to have a continuous rotation of our rings. So first of all, click inside the window, tab to get into edit mode, and press A to select all your points. All the points indicating locations of keyframes should change to yellow. Now select the point menu, extend mode, and cyclic. You should see something like this. So we didn't have to record all these rotations, just the 5 keyframes. Let's check it out. Rewind your animation to the beginning and press the play button. If you find the animation is going too quickly, you can change the frames per second. The default value is 25. Here I've changed my frames per second to 8. Here's the video clip of my animation so far. However, as I mentioned before, space, the planet, and the rings look pretty boring. In the next section, I'll show you how to color them.